All right, welcome to Positivity is the Way to Go. He has 21,000 followers on LinkedIn, and he wrote the published best-selling book, Grad to Grown Up, 68 tips on how to build a professional and personal successful life. Welcome my guest today, Gene Rice. How's it going today, man?
It's going well, Dion. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate the invitation, my friend. And you look good. You look good. I like that mustache. All right.
Well, hey, Gene, I don't got no women though, man. I'm still single, man.
You just got to get out
I'm
there. It's a
still,
numbers game. It's a numbers game. You
hey,
got to put yourself out there, Dion.
hey, Gene, I believe in God. I get a lot of women phone numbers. They don't know how to communicate though, man. See, it's the difference between girlfriend material and wifey material. And
Absolutely.
a lot of women I talk to, I just hit it and quit it and one night stand girlfriend material, not wifey material.
That just means you haven't met the right one yet. Because my
Exactly.
greatest accomplishment in my life is the 42-year marriage I've had to my wife. Because she's been everything to me and everything to my family. And one plus one, when we came together, one plus one equaled more than two. All right. So I encourage you to keep looking for that because when you find that right partner, Dion, your life goes into a different direction. But it's the biggest decision you're going to make in your life. 99% of your happiness or unhappiness will come from that decision. So make sure you find the right one, like I did.
Well, I try my best. You know, my mother raised me well and everything. Cause dating apps they don't work at all. I like to meet people in person. I have been on dating apps. I would admit, a lot of people have, even Christians. They be on Christian websites. We can all admit it. That we have done things that we shouldn't have did. That we probably regret doing.
Well, listen, life is a journey. Okay, you're going to make mistakes and hopefully you learn from them. It's only a real mistake if you make the same mistake again. All right, so
But
don't be too hard on yourself.
exactly. I try not to be. So, how have you helped 900 kids from under deserved communities?
Yeah, let me tell you, Dion, this is something that's really important, and it's something that maybe a lot of your followers don't know. I know I had heard this many times myself, but until I experienced it, Dion, I didn't really realize what it meant. But when you find that charity or you find that way of giving back, okay, something that you're really connected with, and you donate time and you embrace a charity to help, I will promise you and I'll promise your listeners, you will get so much more out of it than what you give. You leave those situations and you feel like, oh my God, what a blessing. Okay. So my wife and I, uh, we had 4 children. Three of my children, Dion, they found those things when they were young. And I'm talking about between the ages of 10 and 18. They found those things they were passionate about, right? My daughter was into acting. My son was a basketball player. My other daughter was a volleyball player. So when you look at those activities, right? What did it do for them? It connected them with a positive role model, whether it be the coach, whether it be the acting or singing instructor, right? It brought positive role models into their life. Number two, depending on what your passion was, it connected you with like minded kids. So friendships developed. My son, who got married 2 years ago, Dion, his best man and three of his ushers in his wedding were men that he played travel and AAU basketball with since fourth grade, right? So I had one other daughter that never found that thing she was passionate about, Dion. And she struggled differently from my other children. Her teenage years were a lot more difficult. Well, now you fast forward, you go into the underserved community, and there are a lot of kids that are passionate about a lot of things. But maybe their family's having a hard time financially. They can't pay for the singing lesson. They can't pay for the art class. They can't put the person on the Pop Warner football team. They don't have the money. They contact us, and we get a lot of referrals from schools, social workers, and then what we do is we will meet with the child and the parent. Most of them are single parent families, Dion, I'll tell you. And then what we will do is we will find them their sensei, or I will find their cheer teacher. We try to find somebody who connects with the charity and will commit to personally being involved with the person. Then we give them an annual scholarship for 1 year. Every single month, my wife will check back with the family and also with the person who's the mentor. Okay. Now we have some unbelievable examples of things that have happened, but you wouldn't believe all the different kids and all their different, interests. But when I meet with that family and I leave there, I can tell you, I'm in that car, and my wife and I will look at each other and say, how blessed are we that we've been able to help 891 kids. And so I just believe it's everyone's responsibility. You can't, like Ronald Reagan said, you can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. So I encourage your followers to find something that they believe in and find a way to give back, and just watch how it does them, and watch how it will change them, and how it will bring blessings into their life. So thank you for asking me about that. It's called the Planter Seed Inspire a Dream Foundation. Will
Well,
be Will Be Free, the basketball player, is on the board. He's a good friend of mine. If you know World, you remember him?
oh yeah, Meta World Peace.
Yeah, World Be Free. He's a he's a 20,000 point scorer. He was for a long time one of the top 50 scorers.
With the Lakers, yeah, Ron Artest. Why do he keep changing his
No,
name
no,
though,
not Ron
man?
Artest. His name was
Uh,
Lloyd Free, and everyone called him World. So he changed his name legally. His middle name was Benjamin to World Be Free. Look him up.
yeah, why
44
do
inch. Michael Jordan said he was the toughest person he ever had to guard in the NBA.
why do he keep changing his name though? He changed his name like a million times already.
No,
I'm
World Be
like,
Free just changed it once to World. You're thinking of Ron Artest, who went to St. John's. I
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
guy. Ron Artest changed his name a million times. I don't know why.
Yeah, but Pat McAfee, he do a kicking competition on college game day, and he gave away like $3 million already this year. If you get the kick right, it's like a 38 yard field goal. And
Wow.
he do it every Saturday at college game day when they go to different cities and stuff.
Can you kick? How were you as a kicker?
Yeah, Pat McAfee, yeah, he played with the Colts. He does pick like college students and stuff, and they kick the field goal.
Well, if he starts giving money away for shooting foul shots, you know you can call on me. All right.
Well said, Gene. So, why do you believe the glasses are not only half full, but it's overflowing? Because I know you came out with that quote, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me share with you. I have a family that I am. That's one of the goals. You have to find reasons every day to wake up and be grateful. Right. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with that, Dion. I don't know if you've met this. Like, I got a friend, no matter what's going on in his life, he's got a smile on, that glass is overflowing. He married a woman who not only was the glass half empty, the glass had 20 holes in the bottom, Dion, right? So, so you put those two together, something's going to give, right? Either one's going to start getting more positive or one's going to get more negative. Thank God he was able to pull her in, right? And I believe you have a choice every day when you wake up, Dion. You can wake up every day and you can say, you know what? I'm going to have a great day today. Or you can wake up and say, oh my God, this day stinks. So I have one suggestion for your followers and one for you, Dion. Here's how you start it. You want that glass to be half full? When you go to bed at night, you put your head on the pillow. Just recall three things that day that happened that you're grateful for. And listen, some days you're grateful for the breakfast you had or the sun coming out. You're never going to have a million things, but try to identify three things. Hey, the television worked. I got a TV in my room. There's a lot of places in the world that don't have a TV, right? I got running water. Just find things every day, at least three, that you're grateful for. And I promise you that will increase. It will go from 3 to 4 to 5. And that's going to help when you wake up in the morning at looking at the glass half full, not half empty.
Well said, man. Because a lot of people alienate people. Some people are like poison. You know, you get around them enough, and around them long enough, and they will alienate the room. And you want to be like, man, they just kill your spirit, like the Holy Spirit. You know, people kill your bodies and everything. That's why I don't like earthly people so much because they typically think small. They don't think the bigger picture about things. They thinking, what I'm gonna do Monday. You know, they like Monday. You know, they ain't thinking about years. Like that's why Americans don't say much. People don't think about the future income. They think about the now, the here and now.
Well, let me share with you. I mean, I used to say people like that, I used to say it's negative energy. I'm not going to be around someone like that. It's negative energy. I don't want to be around someone that brings negative energy into my world. How much more enjoyable, Dion, is it when you hang out with someone where the glass is overflowing? Your life is better. You smile more. I found that in my wife, right? If I might be having a down day, she pulls me right up. You got to find those people that make your life richer. And those are the people that you got to surround yourself with. And if you do that, your life will become more rich and more blessed.
Yeah, and they not so weird and creepy neither, Gene. You could talk to them, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, there's creepy people all over, but there's also a lot of very positive people. All right. There's also a lot
You
of very
just,
positive people.
you just gotta find them. That's all. They out there though.
They're out
So
there.
what are your common regrets people have at the end of their life that they tell you?
Well, myself personally, uh,
Well, in general, you did an interview about that a while ago, and that's why I brought up the question.
yeah. Well, I told you. I mean, one of the things I always encourage people to do is to find that thing that they're passionate about that gives them purpose in their life, and then figure out how to make a living doing it. Right? You said to me, if I gave you a magic wand and I said, Dion, you can create the ideal next job for Dion, what would it be? Besides
It'd
being,
be a mar-
you want to
it'd
be,
be a marketing it'd be a marketing job where I'm doing acting and also that I'm doing a lot of things.
all right, listen, have you put a resume together?
Yes, I got this guy from UIC. His name Vinus. He been helping me out at the writing center. You know, I got to give him mad props because he a very busy guy. You know, and he
Well,
helped me
listen,
out my resume.
well, here's what I'm going to tell you. You send me a copy of that resume, okay? And I built one of the largest executive retained search firms in the country. I put over 1,000 C-level executives in that run these companies, right? I will help you. I will become your executive coach. I will send you the book. In this book, it's going to tell you how to increase the number of interviews, exactly how to go about it. Then the second goal that I'm going to tell you that most human beings don't have, and if you want to get a marketing job, you have to, and I can help you with this, Dion, you have to become what I call a grand master of interviewing. There's a grandmaster in chess, right? A grandmaster of interviewing is somebody that knows how to interview professionally. Now, why is that so important? When you find that marketing job you want, if it's a good job, Dion, you're going to be interviewing against a couple other candidates. The grandmaster is the one who not only gets the job, but also gets paid more. So the book actually goes through the 5 steps to becoming a grand master. But I will help you. I'll become your executive coach. God put you and I together for a reason. All right. I can't help you find the future wife. All right. Because I'm not in Chicago.
I
I can
wish you could do that for
listen.
me,
I can
Jay. That'd be
screen her.
awesome. That'd be
Once you
great.
find one and you tell me, listen, I think this is the one, I can definitely screen her for you. I've done
Yeah,
that for
man, that'd be
friends.
great. Yeah,
I can
exactly.
do an
That'd be
interview.
great.
I can do an interview, but I can't find her for you. All right.
Because I need somebody to tell me about the red flags and who she is. That way, I don't be 20 years in purgatory like the Cowboys,
Well,
like
I can
Jerry
tell you're
Jones and
already
stuff.
negative. You can't go into it with a negative mindset. You got to give
No, no,
everyone the doubt, you know?
I know. I'm saying that you gonna screen them for me and let me
I
know.
will. I will tell
Yeah,
you.
that's
I'm
what
going to
I'm
tell you whether
saying, G.
whether you got a winner or not. All right. And then maybe if I really like, I'll put my wife on the phone. She'll screen it too. All right.
Yeah, you'll come to my wedding and everything, because a lot of people want to come to my imaginary wedding right now. I say it ain't happening yet, but it don't mean it's not gonna happen in the future though.
I can't wait. I can't wait to meet this lady. All right.
Yeah, and also saying my book, Coach Rice, you my coach, man. You got to coach me up, man. You
I
got
will
to get
coach.
me in the game, man.
Well, listen, one of the chapters in the book, one of the 68 chapters is marry the right person. And I talk a little bit about that. All right. Why it works so well for my wife and I, Dion, and the things you need to look for. All right.
Exactly. So let's get into the Philadelphia sports scene, man.
All right.
What's wrong with your 76ers, man? And do you think that they can win the East? Because I mean, Embiid is always hurt, and they got him on a minutes restriction. But the thing is, though, Nick Nurse he won with the Raptors. But what do you think about the season? Do you think they could be a top 4, 6 seed?
Let me tell you right now, the East is very weak this year, right? You got Boston with Tatum being out. You got Indiana, who's not the same without Tyrese, right? My Sixers, I am just happy that there's 7 wins and 4 losses. All right. You got to remember, I was a season ticket holder for 26 years. I lived through the process. I had really good seats. When the process was going on, I would call people, hey, I got these really good seats. You want them for free? I don't want to go see the Sixers. No one wants to see the Sixers. I couldn't give the tickets away. Right? I lived through that. I stayed a season ticket holder. I gave them up last year. And let me tell you why I gave them up. Joel Embiid, when he's healthy, is one of the most amazing talents I've ever seen. What most basketball fans don't realize, they know Joel Embiid as being an unbelievable scorer. He led the NBA in scoring 2 years in a row. But Joel Embiid was most valuable to the Sixers on the defensive end. When he was healthy defensively, nobody drove the middle, Dion. He clogged the middle. He challenged every shot. What's sad is if you watch him this year, defensively, he doesn't have the lateral movement to help protect the rim. There was a time when he was healthy, they would try to do a switch on the perimeter. He could stay with and stick with a guard. That's how well he moved. He is just hurt, and he's always hurt, unfortunately. And in the playoffs, he can't change how he plays. He's a 7 foot 2 inch guy that dives for loose balls. He's falling down all the time. And there's a reason why he's always hurt in the playoffs, because the playoffs it's a different game. It gets more physical, and his body just doesn't hold up. So what I'm excited about with my Sixers this year is the draft pick, the rookie VJ. And I met 2 weeks ago. I actually met the guy that recruited him at Baylor, who's now the head coach of Florida Atlantic. I went to one of his practices. VJ is the real deal. He's a two-way player. He plays defense. Offensively, he can attack the rim. So he's been a piece that really helps us. Tyrese Maxey has gone to a different level. Quentin Grimes, great guard coming off the bench. Kelly Oubre is playing better than he's ever played. And he's a two-way player. Okay? So can we win the East? I don't know. It comes down to two things. can we get Embiid and Paul George healthy enough come April that they're able to, first of all, get us into the playoffs? And are they healthy enough that they'll be able to play every game? Because right now, Embiid is not, he will not play any back-to-back games. The Sixers have 18 back-to-back games. He's going to miss 18 games right there. He's going to miss a whole bunch of other games. And listen, if we get into the playoffs with a decent seed and he's healthy, I'm willing to sit back and listen. Paul George, $210 million we gave him. Here's what really bothered me about Daryl Morey in that trade. Paul George, his contract year, his last year with the Clippers, he played 72 games. The 5 years before that, Dion, he averaged 47 games, which meant that he averaged missing 35 games a year. Why did he play 72 games? It was his contract game. There's no way he was going to stay healthy. Daryl Morey gave him $210 million and a 4-year contract, and we can't get this guy on the court. So you're asking me that, do we have a shot? We have a shot if all the pieces come together. But I'm not that hopeful, but I am hopeful that I got a young team that I'm enjoying watching. Right? They push the ball, they play defense. So let's see what happens.
Well, the thing is, I wish that I wish that they just limit Embiid minutes and stuff. Because, Jokic, he play every game, and I think they're more stupid for letting James Harden go. I mean, James Harden is a better player than Paul George, no offense. They only wanted Paul George because he a 3-and-D guy. But I think that they got to do what Toronto did with Kawhi Leonard and what Kawhi Leonard used to do, load management. Get them to the playoffs. Don't let them play a lot of regular season games. It ain't about MVPs. It's about the playoffs for the Sixers. I believe they're going to be a top 6 seed with BJ and Tyrese, but I think that they got to get George and Embiid to the playoffs, like you said, but they need to low minutes them all year. Bring their minutes down and make sure that they could just get a playoff seed.
Yeah.
And get in, and that way they don't got to be putting the overbearing on Embiid. They need to get a playoff seed, not a play-in.
Yeah. Listen, here's the difference between Paul George and James Harden. Listen, first of all, James Harden shows up and plays. Playoffs come though, he's never gonna win. You know why? Playoffs come, it gets physical. The other team will guard him 94 feet. By the fourth quarter, he's dead. But Paul George, when he's healthy, is a two-way player. He'll play defense. James Harden never, I could score on James Harden. Dion, you could go out and score on James Harden. He can't guard anybody. He couldn't guard an orange cone. All right. I like two-way players. All right. So you can keep James Harden. Get me Paul George healthy 10 years ago at 25 instead of 35, and I'll take him. Hey, tell me about your Chicago Bulls. Are they for real?
Yeah. Well, they was doing good until they lost to Detroit without Jalen Duran and Cade Cunningham last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're gonna be a playoff team, or a play-in team like they always are. They got a good young nucleus. They got Josh Giddey, Kobe White, and everything. I think they building something. And Billy Donovan is a good coach. He coached with OKC, the Thunder.
I
When
love
they
him.
had
I know him.
SGA and everything. So I think they moving in the right direction. They just need more talent.
Yeah, I love Billy Donovan as a coach. I don't know if I told you, but when he was coaching Florida, he really wanted one of the kids on my AAU team. He flew up here on a private jet and tried to recruit him 3 times. The kid went down to Florida. I wanted him to go there because Billy was a point guard. This kid was a point guard. But his parents were both Villanova guys, and Jay Wright jumped in. And at the end, Jay Wright and Villanova got the kid. But I got to be very friendly with Billy. I actually went down, spent some time down, went to a couple of his practices, watched his game, met his family. So he's a really good coach. And I tell you, I think he's got those guys playing well.
Yeah, that's well said, man. The Bulls in the 76. Imagine them in the playoff round. Who you think gonna win that one? That'd be interesting. 3-6 seed, maybe. Who knows?
Uh, we'll see. Listen, from your mouth to God's ears that my Sixers get in the playoffs. Last year they didn't even make the play in. All right, so
Well, VJ gonna make the big difference. I think his coach at Baylor, he should have played him more. In
yeah,
college they don't get in the college they they got a 30 time shot clock and stuff. So I
yeah,
think VJ is more prepared for the NBA, like a lot of experts said.
yeah.
So let's get into the Philadelphia Eagles, man. What's up with the
Oh
AJ
man,
Brown situation, man?
oh, gotta
Y'all
bring up
seven and
my
two.
Eagles. Huh?
Y'all 72, and it feel like AJ Brown is blowing up all the time, man. He be having scriptures, reading books on the sidelines last year. He want the football. I know wide receivers are divas and everything, but y'all winning games, you're gonna win division for the first time. It's gonna be a back-to-back win in NFC for the first time in 25 years.
Yeah,
Because the Cowboys ain't catching y'all at all. If y'all get 9 wins, y'all gonna win division.
yeah,
So
yeah,
y'all gonna win the NFC least, the Giants that fired their coach. Washington beat up. We don't know. Jaden Daniels having a sophomore slump. So y'all gonna win the division walking away. But we gotta get this AJ Brown situation figured out, Gene, man. So what are your
yeah.
thoughts on the Eagles, man?
Let me tell you a couple things about the Eagles. First of all, I don't put all the blame on AJ, right? I think it's both. I think it's both. First of all, you can't tell me that offensive coordinator can't figure out a few more ways to get the ball to AJ Brown, who's an absolute stud. I don't care. Put him in the slot, whatever you have to do. The fact that you throw to him 2 targets in a game when you got someone like AJ Brown, I think Nick and his offensive coordinator, they got to take part of the blame. AJ, someone's got to grab AJ, and I don't know if Hurts has it in him and say, listen, it's okay for you to, talk to me about it. But when you go public like that, it sends a message to everyone that you care more about your stats than winning, right? If we're winning the football games, why are you even have any kind of complaints, right? You should be happy, right? Now, if we lose and you were only targeted twice, okay, I get it. Say something, right? But not when we're winning. I just think they got to figure out a way to get him the ball. Get him the ball early a couple of times. Throw him a 6 foot, reception. Let him see what he can do with it. Get him into the offense a little bit. But my Eagles, the biggest problem with the Eagles this year, and the thing that's going to hold us back from winning the Super Bowl for the second straight year, Dion, is our offensive line. They've been beat up. They've been hurt. That was our greatest strength last year. Lane Johnson's been fighting injuries. Cam Jurgens is hurt. Jordan Mailata's not the same. That's the reason why Barkley's not getting as many yards. He's the offensive line is a little bit beat up. So the fact that we're 7-2 with everything that's going on, I'm pretty happy. But I'm really looking forward to this Detroit Lions game on Sunday.
Well, I think that Philadelphia need to do load management, man. Let's get to the playoffs, man. Let's get in the game healthy. That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
Get the offensive lineman healthy for the playoffs. The regular season, we already know that they guaranteed to win the division. They got that locked up. Ain't nobody catching them at all. They just need to get all the offensive linemen to get them healthy. Just win them games. Try to get a top seed if you can, and get everybody healthy. And then the playoff, it'll be different story.
yeah, yeah. Now, what about you, Chicago Bears? Are they going to make the playoffs this year?
No, the Bears are Jekyll and Hyde, man. Caleb Williams playing good, but they've been playing with fire. Like they let the Bengals come back. They had to get a touchdown. They had to get a touchdown. Late in the game, the Bengals can't stop a nosebleed. Their defense is horrible. They
Yeah,
scored 47 on them. Joe Flacco got 400 yards and 4 touchdowns on the Bears defense. And then the Giants, if Jackson Dart did not get hurt, they would have lost that game. So they need to show up a lot of stuff. If they get in the playoff, they're gonna be one and done.
okay.
I believe in Caleb Williams, but I don't believe in the defense though. I believe they playing with fire and everything. They 6-3, but I think they're a suspect team, to be honest,
All right.
defensively, for sure.
All right. All right.
So,
Yeah.
so why do people hate Philadelphia fans, man? And
I think
you
they're
know,
jealous. Jealous of us. That's why they hate us. All right.
because Craig Harden, he definitely be going at the Eagles. They say y'all got the most nauseating fan base, you know.
Listen, are you going to bring us? Are you going to bring up us throwing snowballs at Santa Claus 50 years ago? Am I going to hear that?
You will. Well, Craig Harden brought that up on WFAN, the fan, when he was hosting with Boomer Esiason, you know.
Listen, the fans are passionate, and the fans they're knowledgeable. All right, they love their teams. The only thing you have to do in Philadelphia, Dion, is win, and people will show up and people will turn out. If you win, these fans are going to support the heck out of you. Yes, we're loud. Yes, we make some noise. Can we be a little obnoxious sometimes? Not myself personally, but I have seen that. All right. You know, but let me tell you something. People talk about the Eagles fans. A bunch of years ago, I was in Cleveland and someone invited me to the Cleveland Browns Pittsburgh Steelers game. 1 o'clock in the afternoon game, Dion. After that game, I left. I'm going back to my hotel. I can't tell you how many fights I saw in the street. Browns fans and Steeler fans fighting, rolling on the cement. I never seen that in Philadelphia. But no one talks about the Steeler fans or the Brown fans, right? They talk about the Eagles fans. We're not the only ones.
Well, yeah, man. But it was a pleasure having you on, Gene, today, man. And we'll do this again, maybe at the end of the month, man. And we'll see how the Eagles and the 76ers doing, you know? Because remember,
Yeah,
Charles Barkley played for the 76ers, and
I love them. I love them. But Dion, you send me
yeah,
your
and I was
address.
gonna say that Sal Palatino. Do you?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sal's from Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Sal Palatino. He been covering the Eagles for a million years, man. Have you met him before? I know he covered for ESPN. You know, he have his NFL matchup show.
Yeah, I've seen him a bunch. You know what I mean? I don't know him personally. I will tell you, Charles Barkley's wife, he met the woman is from the town I live in. She's from Holland, Pennsylvania. Her family's still here. He married her many years ago when he played for the Sixers.
Are they still married? Because he always talking about those San Antonio, those big old women out there, man.
Married with one daughter.
Oh, that's good, man. He losing weight too, man. He
And
trying to look like Joe Thomas, man.
he's been married for a number of years. Number of years.
Did not know that, man.
Now here's the thing about Charles Barkley most people don't realize, right? 1984, before the Olympics would allow professionals to play, we probably had the best collection of college basketball players. Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Clyde Drexel, right? Charles Barkley was invited to try out for that team. Bobby Knight was the head coach. Bobby Knight cut Charles Barkley. He asked his three assistants before he told them who they're going to pick to put the 15 guys up that they would put on the team. All three of his assistants had Barkley at the top. Supposedly he dominated. Bobby Knight went crazy and said, I'm not putting him on this team. Charles Barkley is all about himself. This is a team. No way I'm putting Barkley on this team. And he made a guy named George Raveling, who at that time was the head coach of Washington State. He told George to go tell Charles he didn't make the team. And he went and told Charles. And he said Charles was a perfect gentleman. Charles said, listen, I came here and what I wanted to accomplish is I wanted those NBA scouts to know that I could play with anybody. And I think I accomplished that. So it's okay. He doesn't want me on a team. It's okay. But here he is, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and Bobby Knight cut him from the team. He couldn't even make the 15th person on the team. He was cut. Crazy story, right?
That's like the Giants getting rid of Saquon Barkley and he running all over them 200 yards last year and he sticking it to him, you know?
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
But but Gene, it was a pleasure having you on, man, and I definitely will send you the address offline, for the book. And you gonna sign it for me, right?
I'm gonna sign it, and I'm gonna listen. I'll write a couple of things on it for you, my man. All right, and you read
All
it.
right,
You're gonna see there's a lot in there. We'll talk about it. All right.
put some in there too, man, you know.
I'm not putting any
Maybe put
money
a
in there. I'm
special
not gonna put any
guest on that,
money.
maybe.
All right? I'm not gonna put any money, but listen. God bless you, my friend. I'm proud of you. All right.
All right, thank you so much, man.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.